Yes, sir.
Okay, so today we will talk about the Routh's stability criteria. Okay, so basically, as you know, that if we want to check the stability of the system, what we do, we check the poles of the characteristic equation or roots of the characteristic equation. So those roots must be on the left side of the imaginary axis. Okay, left side of the imaginary axis. This is my imaginary axis and this is my real axis. Okay, so this is the criteria for a system to be stable. But that criteria we can apply to the system of like simple system, because if you have a very complex system, so it may be very difficult for you to calculate roots of the system. Okay, so what happens, suppose you have any polynomial, okay, say s square plus as, okay, plus b is equals to 0. Okay, so easily you can calculate roots of this characteristic equation, isn't it? Because you have Sridharacharya formula, from that you can calculate the roots of this equation. But in case you have system with higher order like cubic system or fourth order system, it is very difficult to calculate roots of this equation, isn't it? So in that case, when you deal with higher order system, you use this Routh stability criteria. Okay, for a small system like for quadratic equation or like first order equation, you can simply calculate roots and you can check the location of those roots in this S plane. But when you deal with higher order system, it is there is some alternative method called Routh stability criteria. So Routh stability criteria tells us whether or not there are unstable roots in a polynomial equation. What do you mean by unstable roots? The roots which are on the right side of the imaginary axis. Okay, if there are four roots of the equation, say it is a fourth order equation, so maybe two roots are on the left side, but maybe another two roots may be on the right side, so system will be unstable. So from Routh's criteria you can calculate that how many roots are on the right side of the imaginary axis. The stability criteria applies to polynomial with only a finite number of terms. Okay, there should be a finite number of terms like s square, s to the power 5, 6, 7 or something, anything, but it should be some finite value, say n. Okay, it should not be infinite value. Okay, say n. So generally this linear closed loop system equation is given by this transfer function. Cs is output, Rs is input. So the generic form of this system will be like this. We have s to the power m, s to the power m minus 1 up to s to the power, this is s to the power 1, okay, and this is s to the power 0. Okay, this is s to the power 0. This is a standard equation and there are coefficient of this variable s like b0, b1, b2 and so on, like bm. In denominator also we start with s to the power n, n minus 1, s to the power 1 and finally s to the power 0. Okay, and we have coefficients of denominators like an minus 1 starting with a0. So this is a general form. Okay, so m can be a cubic, m is equal to 3, then this numerator will be having 3 powers. If n is equal to 6, so denominator power will be 6, and the order of the system is determined by the denominator. Okay, so a and b are constant, these b and these a are constants, and these constants also it is important always in a transfer function the power of numerator, highest power of numerator is less than the highest power of denominator. So as you know, for characteristic equation what we do, we put this denominator is equals to 0, isn't it? We put denominator is equals to 0, that is our characteristic equation. So this will be the characteristic equation of the system. Okay, if this characteristic equation is of second order or first order, simply you can calculate the roots using Sridharacharya formula, and you can locate on S-plane, and you can predict about the stability. But if it is higher order term, then you use Routh's criteria. So now we will discuss what is the Routh's stability criteria. So in Routh's stability criteria, we have some necessary and sufficient condition. The first condition I am going to discuss is necessary but not sufficient. Okay, means this condition is necessary. This should be satisfied. Okay, to be a system to be stable. Okay, it is necessary, but it is not sufficient that the system will be stable only. Okay, if this condition is satisfied, okay, the system, you can say if this condition is satisfied, then system may be stable or may not be stable. And if this system is not satisfied, then you are confirmed that the system is unstable. Okay, so this is a necessary condition. For stability is that the coefficients of the characteristic equation all be present and all have a positive sign. Okay, means if all a's are negative, then they can be made positive by multiplying both sides of the equation by -1. Okay, means the coefficients of the characteristic equation all be present and positive, all be present and positive. So these are coefficients of the characteristic equation: a0, a1, an-1, and so on. So all these coefficients, so it is like s to the power 0. So all these coefficients should be present, means if any one of the coefficient is 0, a1 is 0, okay, so this term will be vanished. So it is necessary that all coefficients must be present. Okay, and also all have the positive sign. So here it is positive, here it is positive, everywhere it is positive. Okay, so this is a necessary condition. If any one of the coefficient is 0, then system is unstable. Also, if all coefficients are not positive, for example here it is negative, then also system is unstable. Okay, so this is necessary condition for Routh's criteria. In case this first condition is satisfied, that all are present, a1, a2, an-1, everything is present, and all are positive also, all are positive also, then we can say that we satisfy first condition, but we cannot predict that the system will be stable or not. Okay, to verify that, we go to the next condition, that is called necessary and sufficient condition. Okay, for stability, that is all roots of the characteristic equation lie in the left half S-plane. Okay, so this is the second condition for stability, is that all the coefficients be positive and all terms in the first column of the Routh's array have positive sign. So this is our important sufficient condition to be system to be stable. When the system is stable, when all roots lie in the left half S-plane. Okay, this is the condition. So how we can identify this condition? If first column of Routh array, we will discuss what is this Routh array. If first column of Routh array have positive signs, Okay, so now we will discuss what is Routh array. So you understand from this necessary and sufficient condition means if condition 1 is satisfied, we cannot predict whether the system is stable or not. But if condition 1 is not satisfied, we are sure that the system will be unstable. Okay. For example, if you conduct a antigen test, and for COVID, if you perform an antigen test, and this test shows positive result, means you are COVID positive, means that is sufficient, that is necessary. If it is positive, then you will be positive. Whether you go for RT-PCR or not, it will be positive only. But if this test is negative, your antigen test is negative, it is not necessary that you will be negative only. Then you have to go for RT-PCR. Okay. So antigen test can confirm you that you are positive, but it cannot confirm you that whether you are negative or not. Okay. So for that you have to go for RT-PCR. Similarly, if this first condition tells you that system is unstable, if it is satisfied, and if it is not satisfied, you have to go for second condition. Okay. Now come to the Routh stability criteria. So this is our characteristic equation. Okay. So these are conditions if any of the coefficients are 0 or negative in the presence of at least one positive constant coefficient. Okay. Means if all are negative, this is important to understand, at least one should be positive here. If in this equation all are negative, all signs are negative, you can simply make it positive. You multiply the equation both side by -1, so it will be positive. You multiply both side by -1 this side, okay, -1 this side, and you multiplied -1 this side, so it will become the positive. Okay. So that's why they said that in the presence of at least one positive coefficient. Okay. If all are negative, means all are positive. All negative means all positive. So at least one positive constant, and then a root or roots exist that are imaginary or that have positive real part. Okay. So there can be root if any of the coefficient is 0 or negative. What is the meaning of this? If any of the coefficient is 0 or negative, means any of the coefficients say it is 0, okay, or any of the coefficients say this is negative. What that mean? That means that the roots of this equation, either they are imaginary or they have positive real part. Okay. Means this, for example, if this is a root of the complex root of the system, so you see that real part is positive here. Okay. Or this equation have imaginary part only, means there is no real part. Real part is 0, only imaginary. Then the system is unstable. Okay. In case that the statement 2 is satisfied, that is positive coefficient, means not 0 coefficient and not negative, the system may or may not be stable, but you cannot say it will be stable. So thus this is the necessary condition we have already discussed, and if necessary condition is satisfied in the statement 4, then we move to the construct the Routh's array in order to evaluate the stability of the system. So let's come to the Routh's array. Okay. So this is your equation. This is your characteristic equation. So you write these coefficients, you make one array. Okay. Array means you make this matrix. Okay. Here you write all powers, maximum power, say s to the power n, you start with that maximum power, s to the power n, s to the power n minus 1, and so on, s to the power 0. Okay. Now you write coefficients of this. So this a0, you leave it, then take a2, okay, a2 s to the power n minus 1, okay. So you take a0, you take a2, you take a4. So you write these things in the first row, a0, a2, a4, and remaining a1, a3, and so on, a5 in the second row, okay. You write these two rows. After writing these two rows, in the third row you write b1, b2, b3. How you calculate this b1, b2, b3? It is like multiplication of a1, a2 minus multiplication of a0, a3 divided by 1, okay. So b1 will be a1, a2 minus a0, a3 divided by a1, okay. Similarly, b2 you can calculate a1 multiplied a4 minus a0 multiplied a5 divided by a1, okay, b2. Similarly, you can calculate b3, b4, and so on. And total number of rows will be equals to n plus 1, okay, because from here to here this is n elements, and plus this element corresponding to s to the power 0. S to the power 0 is nothing but 1. So an entire row may be also, there is a rule that the entire row may be multiplied or divided by a positive number to simplify the calculation without affecting the stability. So your stability will not be affected if you divide a row. For example, you divide this row by 3, whole the row, it will not change your result. Or you multiplied whole the row by some constant, say 2 multiplied by 2, so it will not change the final result. So you can make that for making some calculation simple. The number of roots of equation 1 with positive real parts is equal to the number of sign changes in the first column of the Raoult's array. So how many roots will be on the right hand side? For example, if it is a fourth order system and all among the 4 roots, 3 roots are on the left plane and 1 root on the right plane. So how you calculate that how many roots are on the right hand side? It is equal to the number of sign changes in the first column. So in this first column which I have highlighted, how many sign changes are there? You just count that and you will have answer to your question. So it should be noted that the exact values are not required, only sign of the terms is important. So what is the exact value of a0, a1, b1? It is not very much required in order to calculate stability. You should know what is the sign of these terms, plus minus, and using that plus minus sign you can predict about the stability of the system. Let's try to understand this phenomena using some numerical example. So first example, discuss about the stability of the following system whose characteristic equations are given by this. So first is your a fourth order equation and you have to tell whether the system is stable or not. Here you see s to the power 4, s to the power 3, s to the power 1, and s to the power 0. Okay, s to the power 0. If you look in this equation, your s to the power square is missing, or you can say its coefficient is 0. Okay, or you can say this coefficient is 0. So since one term is 0 or one coefficient is 0, thus system unstable. Okay, it's like an antigen test. If antigen test is positive, means you are COVID positive. You don't need to go for RT-PCR. Okay. Similarly, if coefficient is 0 means system is unstable. There is no need to go for the Raoult's criteria. Okay. So as I have written here that all coefficients of equation are to be present means not 0, then only this condition will satisfy, but there is a one coefficient is 0, so system is unstable because coefficient of s square is 0. It is means the system is unstable. Similarly, for second case, if you see s4 minus as cube minus bs square plus cs plus d, here all squares are present: 4, s to the power 3, s to the power 2, s to the power 1, and s to the power 0. All coefficients are present, but when we look, we see here that this coefficient is negative. This coefficient is negative, and according to the condition, necessary condition, that all coefficients should be positive. All coefficients should be positive. Okay, so since here one coefficient is negative means system is unstable. Okay, means system is coefficient is negative, system is unstable. Third case, if you look in this, all s की power are present, say s3, s square, s to the power 1, and s to the power 0. All are present. All are present, but if you look at the coefficient -1, -a, -b, -c, there are negative coefficients. So system should be unstable? No, it will be, it may be or may not be unstable because I can make this equation positive by multiplying by -1 whole equation, both sides we multiplied by -1, so all coefficient will become positive, isn't it? So all coefficient becomes positive. So in this case, since all s powers are present, also the equation is having positive coefficients, so are so the system may or may not be stable. We don't know whether it is stable or not. So what we have to do, we have to apply the Raoult's stability criteria. Raoult's, we have to develop a Raoult's array. Okay, so this equation after multiplying by -1 will become this. Okay, will become this one after multiplying by -1. Let's see another example. Find the condition that all roots of the characteristic equation have negative real parts. Okay, this is the equation: a0 s cube, a1 s square, a2 s, and a3. He is asking that all roots of these equations have negative real part, means all are on the left side of this imaginary axis. Okay, all have negative real parts. So what is the condition for negative real part? As you know that first thing, we check the power of s. We have all the power of s cube, s square, s1, and s to the power 0. We have all powers. Okay, no problem. Second, we check the positivity of constant. This is positive, this is positive, this is positive, this is also positive, so no problem until here. So we can say system may be stable or may not be stable. Stable means roots are on the left side of the imaginary axis. Okay, negative real parts of the roots. Now we don't know system is stable or not, and if we have to develop a Raoult's array which can tell that how many roots are on the left hand side of the imaginary axis and how many roots are on the right hand side of the imaginary axis. So we apply the Raoult criteria as we discussed in the previous slide. Okay, so it's simple. We write this term, and there is no other term, so we write a0, a2 in the first row, and remaining term a1 a3 in the second row, now we write here s1. First we write the powers s cube, because highest power is n is equals to 3, highest power is 3, s square s1 s to the power 0. So first row, two rows we have written simply. Okay, now first column of third row, so it will be a1 multiplied by a2 minus a0 multiplied by a3 divided by a1. Okay, so we write here a1 a2 minus a0 a3 divided by a1. First term is clear. Now you write term here. If this so I make line like this. This is my first column. This is my first column. Sorry, I have not written it clearly. Okay, so now you multiply for next part. If you multiply it similarly, a1 to 0, because third column is 0. Okay, and a0 to 0, so here it will be 0. Okay, because I forgot to keep gap between these two. Yeah, I forgot to keep gap between a0 a2, so I write a2 here. Okay, I write a2 here. Okay, so this one is your first column and this one is your second column. Okay, this one is your second column, this one is your first column. This a2 I have right here, and this a3 I will write here. Okay, now you can do it. a1 a2 minus a0 a3 divided by a1. Okay, so this is your first term. Similarly, now this a1, there is no other terms here, so all are 0. So a1 0 will be 0 and a0 0 will be 0. So here I put in second column 0. Now first term in the third in this row, s0 row, so it will be this multiplied by this. Okay, this multiplied by this minus a1 into 0, a1 into 0 divided by this, so when you solve it will be equals to a3. So final array will be like this: s3 s square s1 s0. First column will be this and second column will be this. Okay, so this is positive, this is positive, this is positive. Okay, because it is given to you a1 a2 a3 are positive constants, so these are like 2 3 4, not minus 3 minus 4, it is not. So these are positive constants, so this is positive, this I don't know what will be the result of this expression, positive or negative, I don't know. So the condition, that's what he asked, what is the condition. So the condition is that for the Routh criteria, if all the coefficients in the first column are positive, then system is stable, and number of roots on the right plane is equals to number of sign change. So I don't want to see any sign change here. In order to make any sign change in the first column, in order to make system stable, what I do, I make this term positive. So we put here this term greater than 0, means this is our condition that the all roots will be in the left left of the imaginary axis, means if this condition is there, that all roots will be in the left side of the imaginary axis. Okay, this is the condition. So this is what he asked, what is the condition. Okay. For more clarification, let's take one numerical example. Discuss the stability for the following polynomial. This polynomial is given to you. First you check power. S to the 4 is there, S to the 3 is there, S power 2 is there, S power 1 is there, S power 0 is there. Okay, all powers are there, and also all are positive, 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 positive. Means system may be stable or may not be stable, I don't know. So we go for the routes array. You put here S4, S3, S2, S1, S0. Okay, because highest power is S4. So we start with the highest power. Now coefficient of S4 is 1. Leave second one. Coefficient of S square is 3. Leave this one. Coefficient of S0 is 5. Okay, coefficient of S0 is 5. So we have this 1, 3 and 5. So we write here 1, 3 and 5. Okay, remaining we put in the second row 2 and 4. So we are remaining with 2 and 4. We put in the second row 2, 4. Okay, now calculate the third row. So first term, this will be equals to how much? This multiply by this 6 minus this multiply by this 4. So 6 minus 4 divided by 2, divided by 2. Okay, now this part, second column. Okay, second column in third row, second column in third row. So what we do, 2 multiplied by 5, 10, minus 1 multiplied by nothing, assume it is 0. So 10 minus 0 divided by 2, divided by 2. Okay, now calculate, further we cannot go. So now calculate first element in the uh, fourth row, because this is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. Okay, row 1 and 2 you can write directly. Row 3, for row 3 you make these calculations like this, and for similarly for row number 4 you multiply this, multiply by this. Okay, so it is basically 6 minus 4, 2 by 2, 1. So 1 multiplied by 4 minus 5 multiplied by 2. So 4 minus 2. Okay, uh, so when you will calculate and divided by this, so when you calculate, this will be this one. Okay, now for the another, this one we multiplied, we multiply this, it is 0. We multiply this, there is no element, so it is 0. So here you will be having 0. You can leave blank or you put a 0. Similarly for last row, you multiplied this by this. Okay, this is calculated 1 and this is calculated 5. So 6 multiplied by this is 5. So 6 multiplied by 5 minus 1 multiplied by, there is no element, so 0. Okay, there is no element, so it is 0, and divided by 6 only, minus 6 only. So you will be having 5. You will be having 5. So finally you have this. So you have I write this array. I write this array here, simplified form. This is the array. Okay, now you look in the first column of this array. All coefficients are not positive. One coefficient is negative. One term is negative. Means system is unstable. Okay, system is unstable. Okay, so unstable, but you can also tell that how many roots are on the right hand side. So how many roots are on the right hand side? Which makes the system, if all the roots are on the left hand side, system is always stable. But from the calculation of Routh's criteria, we found that one term is negative, means system is unstable, means there are some roots which are on the right side, So how you calculate how many roots will be on the right side? Because it is a fourth order equation, there will be four roots. Okay, so as I told you, number of roots on the right side of imaginary axis is equal to number of sign changes in the first column. So how many sign are changes here? You see here positive, so positive no change, positive to positive no change, but here positive to negative, so one change, and then negative to positive, another one change. So there are two times sign is changing. The total poles will be two on the right hand side. Okay, say one anywhere in the here, and second one somewhere here, anywhere, but and two poles or two roots will be on the left hand side. Okay, and due to these two poles, system is unstable. Clear? Let's take another conditional example. Consider the following polynomial: s4, s cube, s square, s, and s0. Okay, so all s part are existing. Also, if we look at the coefficients, plus 1, plus 2, here it is 4 plus k. I cannot say it is positive or negative. It depends on the value of k. Okay, plus 9, okay, plus 25. So we don't know system is stable or not. That depends on the value of k. So what should be the condition range of that k that we can say that system is stable? So we draw the Routh criteria: S4, S3, S square, S1, S0. Okay. So first two row you can write directly. It's very easy. You take this term. This is 1. Leave this. Then it is 14 plus k. Leave this. Then it is 25. So it is 1, 4 plus k, and 25, and remaining is 2 and 9. You put in the second row, 2 and 9. Third row, what you do? 2 multiplied by this minus 1 multiplied by 9 divided by 2. So this will be equals to this one. Okay, now another coefficient for this, another column here, second term, it will be 2 multiplied by 25. 2 multiplied by 25 will be equals to 50 minus 1 multiplied by 0, it will be 0, and divided by 2. So 50 divided by 2, it's the 25. Okay, further we cannot do because 2 here there is no term, so it is 0, and for 1 also there is no term, so it will be 0. So we have only two terms. Now we have to write for the fourth row. Third row is completed. Now come to the fourth row. Okay, fourth row, what you do? This you multiply this to this minus this to this and divided by this. So when you perform this operation, you get this expression. Okay, and further you cannot move because you cannot multiply here because here there is no term. You cannot multiply here, there is no, because it is 0. Okay, so only one term will be there. Now last row, what you do? You multiply this to this minus this to this. Here is nothing, so 0, and divided by this, so it will be only 25. Okay, so this is the calculation for the Routh array. So our Routh array is ready. Now we check the stability condition. So for the system to be stable, as I told, that first column should be positive. So I know this is positive, 25 is positive, but I don't know about this, whether this is positive or not. I don't know about this, whether this is positive or not. To make them positive for stability, the first condition, this k minus 0.5 should be positive. Also this should be positive. So this I can write like this. So this should be positive. So from here means k should be greater than 0.5, and from here if we simplify this expression, it will be giving me that k should be greater than 6.05. So what is the condition? It is saying k should be greater than 0.5, and it is saying that k should be greater than 6.05. Okay, so ultimately if I have two range like 0, 0.5, okay, I have 1, I have 1.5, I have 2, and finally I have 6.05. Okay, 6.05. Okay, so my condition is saying, suppose this is the axis, that the value of k should be greater than 0.5, and another condition is saying that value should be greater than 6.05. So what should be the final thing? That the k should be greater than 6.05. This is the condition. It should be greater than 6.05. Okay, because if you satisfy this condition, okay, this will be positive, but for this condition k greater 0.5, this will not be positive. Okay, if this is not positive, again there is a negative sign in first column. Okay, so but if you satisfy this condition k greater 6.5, so if you put k is equals to 6.6 here, it will be positive, and this condition is already satisfied. So both condition will be satisfied if you take k is greater 6.05. So system will be stable. I think it is clear for you.